Welcome to this week's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast with K-Double and Alpha. Boys, take it away.
The following Four Aces production is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is highly advised.
Hello. Yeah. Vegas, baby. Nah. What's up, y'all? It's me, Double K Double, and I'm here as always with the man on, depending on which way you're looking at us. I'm gonna point both ways because he either over there or over here. That young man named Alpha, and let you know that we're ready to talk a little sweaty men.
We are back again, once again, to talk some sweaty motherfucking men in the ring, in Vince McMahon's ring this time.
Yeah, man, the past couple of weeks of both Raw and SmackDown have been pretty interesting, if you ask me. Since the unification of the belts at WrestleMania, I think that again Roman Reigns continues his run as the top wrestler, the top superstar in WWE, not just the top heel, but the top superstar. You know, he's getting that Stone Cold Steve Austin type cheer. What I mean by that is he's supposed to be the bad guy, but we still cheer him anyway. You know, Razor Ramon got that kind of heat. Shawn Michaels got that heat when he was the bad guy, you know. So like I think Roman's on the best run of his career right now, and I think these past 4 weeks have been an epitome to that because they've kind of protected him. He hasn't shown up much outside of backstage segments.
Yeah, he's played this kind of, I like the mafioso kind of role that he has, this like Scarface, but I'm Hawaiian kind of thing he's totally slipping into. It's great. It's really great. He has the Usos as these kind of goons, but because we have these threads with Jey Uso, it's a little deeper than that. And it's all evolving further and further. But I love the role that he's playing, and I like the way that he commands people to do things for him. He just demands respect wherever he goes, and it's fucking awesome. It
is utterly amazing.
And people talk about him being the next Cena or something. No, he's the next Taker. You know why? Because every entrance is fucking 15 minutes.
I would say he's the next Attitude Era-esque player in the game, and what I mean by that is that he reminds me of Triple H during his when the Helmsley McMahon era. You know, like during that time, you know, anybody can be bought, anybody can be swayed, you know, by the tribal chief. And so nothing epitomizes that more than the sudden change in what I thought was going to be the main event of WWE Backlash next week. And that was, we went from a title unification match between the Usos and RK Bro.
Shout out to the special 420 sale.
Yes.
On the RK Bro 420, I just smoked your ass t-shirt, which is the best t-shirt design that has ever fucking existed.
You went left on me on that. I thought you were going to say shout out to Randy Orton for his 20 years in the business.
Shout out to Orton for fucking 20 years in the business. Yeah, for that fucking too, for Orton being around as long as I've been fucking alive.
Yep, you know. And I love the Monday Night Raw matchup. Who was it? It was Cody Rhodes, Ezekiel.
Yeah, that match was actually a fucking banger.
And
I'm still adoring Kevin Owens selling the shit out of this. It's great. It's actually fucking good.
Nobody else gets it. Me.
Oh, and not Randy Orton with Ezekiel, right? I'll make sure to remember. When he turned the mic over, you can hear him faintly say that. It's fucking great.
Oh man, it's yeah. And then Matt Riddle's cutting great promos. Like it's I'll put it to you like this. Even though I know at the end of the day it's built for the Usos to walk away with the unified titles. I wouldn't mind seeing RK Bro walk away. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
RK Bro to win. It's
like no, I was just gonna say like that's just
Every so often they pump out these white hot tag teams out of fucking nowhere, dude. These tag teams just come out of nowhere and they get white hot. Example, Rusev Day. They walked into Mania, 80,000 people chanting Rusev Day. Thunderous, most explosive chant of the night. And this is just like that again. RK Bro came out of fucking nowhere. No one could have predicted this. And it's the hottest thing right now in WWE.
Yep.
Not named Roman Reigns.
Not named Roman Reigns, yep.
It's an amazing fucking act. And because of it being so white hot, I know they're not going to put the titles on RK Bro.
Yeah, that would suck. Like that would suck. Well, it's just because at this point in time, now that Roman has both of the top belts, the entire WWE like universe revolves around the bloodline.
Yeah.
So it logically makes sense for them to be the first universal champions, universal tag team champions, and like I said, remember, I've said this before and we discussed this, I believe, I don't know if we were on air or not. I think we were off air because we were talking Batman and all that last week, but I mentioned it last week. I like the idea of unified tag team belts and a unified main belt. Everybody's like, no, each show's got to have its own belt. No, it allows you to streamline things when you have one champ, one major champ, one set of tag team championship belts. The women's tag team belts already bounce back and forth between Raw and SmackDown. So now it'll be all three of the major belts, except for the women's belt, in which each show will have its own women's belt. And then you have one set of tag team belts. And then you have you elevate the Intercontinental and the US titles as individual titles that represent each individual show. Now the US title becomes the Raw title, the Intercontinental title becomes the SmackDown title, and then you have unified tag team champions and unified heavyweight champion.
Exactly. And then at that point, walking into Survivor Series is no longer as predictable as champion versus champion, as consistently as it is. And not only that, but it heightens the level of every champion that's around now. Because you think about it like this, you have a unified tag team championships. So that's effectively removing two belts there, a world championship and women's championship. You put it into perspective that way, you just took away about 3 or 4 belts. That heightens the value of every other belt that's left now, especially the ones that are unified. At that point, it's as simple. It's that simple.
Yeah. And I understand what they're saying. At some point, they're going to go back to separate champions. But for the time being, while they're making this run, why not take advantage of how hot the bloodline is and ride that wave out?
Have them on both shows. Fuck it.
According to the stats, Roman Reigns has not been pinned in almost 2 years. And he's held that title for almost 600 days or over 600 days, the Universal title.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's a hell of a run.
So at that point, I want to get into a talk about this while we're here. Okay. Let's just divulge in here while we're at it. Who do you think? Who would you choose to be the face to beat Roman Reigns? Not soon, predictably, maybe if you want to give it like a year of development, however, but who would you pick to be the face to dethrone Roman Reigns?
I'm going to be honest with you. That's a hard question to answer right now. Not because it's a hard question to answer. It's a hard question to answer right now because there's no baby face that's that white hot right now.
That's believable to that point, huh?
Yeah, there's nobody that's that white hot that it wouldn't feel forced.
Yeah.
And it would feel like they're taking basically if it were to happen with a lot of the people that it is now, it would it would just feel like they're taking the strap off of Roman for the sake of taking the strap off of Roman. Not because it's any type of believable storyline. Now, here's one person I would say that I wouldn't mind seeing take the strap off of him, but a lot of people be like, oh my God, he's already won the title a bunch of times. But it's been a long time since the last time he won the title, or any major world heavyweight championship. And that's Randy Orton. I want to say it's been a few years since the last time he held, because he's been on this RK Bro thing for at least a year and a half already.
The last time he held the world championship was after he won the 2017 Rumble, Mania 32. That's the last time he held the world championship.
So yeah,
about a month later.
Okay, so 5 years since the last time he held the world title. I think you could have him after the Usos beat RK Bro for the titles, have him work a solo feud with Roman Reigns that I believe it would be believable, but you got to have him work a longer feud. Like you got to have Randy try the first 2 times, end up failing for various reasons. Maybe Roman beats him outright the first time. And then the second time, like the Usos interfere. And then the third time he gets it in Hell in a Cell and he's able to actually beat Roman. And at that point, Randy Orton's so white hot that the roof will literally blow off the place when he wins that title, because everybody will be so happy to see it.
I'll take that. And like I've been saying for a minute now, since I've seen Randy perform in person a while ago, and I say this as somebody, it's very important that for the longest time, I was not a big Randy Orton fan. Yeah. It's not that I didn't respect him, I've always respected him, but I didn't like the way he phoned in his work when he blatantly didn't want to be there. Yeah. I feel like that's just not something that you're allowed to do. And I feel like if anybody else did that, it wouldn't have been accepted,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then, but beside all of that, he's, in the last year, you can tell he's gotten this injection of life back into his career. And listening up to interviews, he voices that. And it's fucking amazing. And seeing him perform in person, he put so much fucking juice on every little action that he did, and he soaked up everything the crowd gave him. It was awesome. And
he is loving the crowd right now.
Exactly. It's wonderful to see that amount of life back in him in this work. So genuinely, I believe we could see that. I believe we could see Randy Orton win the title again, and I wouldn't even be mad.
So let's jump on to something random real quick. So what are your thoughts, or what have been your thoughts on the feud between Omos and Bobby Lashley now that MVP is his mouthpiece?
Like I said when it first started, I'm a little bit biased because I really fucking love the Hurt Business. I would give anything for the Hurt Business to be back together right now still.
Yeah.
So I'm not the biggest fan of Omos being managed by MVP. But if I'm being honest, I'm not going to act like it's not a good thing for Omos, because MVP is a great manager and he brings great value to anybody that he manages. Yeah. And Omos is slowly taking baby steps in his progression in ring. There's progression bit by bit. Yeah, he definitely should have straight up. He should have gone through the Performance Center a lot longer.
Yeah.
And then he should have gone through NXT.
Yeah.
And then he should have been here on the main roster. And I don't say that for the sake of cutting your teeth or paying your dues or anything like that. It's just for the sake of flattening out everything that you have to for a man of that size,
Yep.
All that
I think
said,
it would have given him a lot more in-ring work prior to hitting the main roster, which would have helped him.
Absolutely.
Even though not knocking him, the man has performed admirably considering how green he was when he came in.
There's been progress.
But here's the deal. I think they did a good job by putting him with AJ Styles to start, because AJ Styles was a good mini mouthpiece for him, not really being a manager, but just being kind of like the tag team partner that does all the talking.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that they did an okay job when they had him separate from AJ Styles. But I definitely think they did a damn good thing by putting him with MVP. And the reason why I say that is because I believe the MVP can be to Omos what Paul Heyman was to Brock Lesnar prior to Brock now. I'm talking about when Brock was young and really couldn't cut a promo for shit, but could go in a fucking ring. because he had what I call Mike Tyson syndrome. And Mike, if you're out there, please don't hit me in the face like you did that dude on the plane. But he has a Mike Tyson syndrome. He's this big dude, intimidating, could probably kill you if he wanted to. But then he talked like this. He talked really high and really, and Brock is kind of the same thing. But he's learned how to add a little bass to his voice when he talks now, and now it's a little bit more intimidating. But back when Brock first started out, like his voice just didn't match how intimidating he was. Yeah. So putting Heyman with him really was a smart idea. And once again, I think putting MVP. Now, I'm not saying MVP is on Heyman's level as far as being a talker, but MVP can hype a guy. MVP is damn good. He's always been damn good on the mic, you know. And so giving almost to him is a combination that I would like to see. Like we talked about earlier, I'm a huge fan of the Hurt Business as well myself. I would have preferred to see the Hurt Business just add almost.
They should have. Yeah, I would have just been fine with them being a whole faction with almost.
Yep.
I would have been fine with almost having to fight his way in if he had to. I would have taken that, because if I'm being honest, out of everything almost has done so far, I really like the in-ring work that he's doing with Lashley. Above all anything, it's just two big dudes beating the shit out of each other. Exactly. It's just 9 minutes of two large, beefy fucking dudes clobbering the shit at each other and attempting to throw each other around. I'll fucking take it. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, it's a bit slow, but that's what happens when you have big dudes. It happens in any sport.
It's funny to me when people talk about slowness, and just on a side tangent real quick, when people talk about slowness of wrestling matches, people forget the pace of, like, go back and watch like old territory wrestling back in the 70s and the 80s, and watch how slow those matches were. Like, because they were
walk.
Yeah, exactly. You know, not George the Animal Steel. These are King Kong Bundy. These guys didn't exactly move fleet-footed around the ring. You know, Andre the Giant, like, his matches weren't exactly speed burners. Like, he lumbered around the ring a lot.
And yes, of course, Andre did at some point pull off drop kicks. He did pull off some things. That all being said, though, that was just the pace.
Right.
And that is still, as a small note, what you're taught now. When I got in the ring, one of the first things I was taught was, don't try and do a bunch of flippy, crazy shit when you're selling. Take a walk.
Yeah.
Grab where you're hurt, voice it, like show some pain, but walk when you're selling. Take a walk.
So, and see, and that's what I'm saying. It's like people, what is an actual good wrestling match has been lost by a lot of people. Like, I think that people expect, like, the Young Bucks. Like, don't get me wrong, the Young Bucks put on exciting matches, but what they put on is no Dean Malenko versus Chris Benoit. You know, it's no Rey Mysterio taking on Disco Inferno. Shit, that dude could go as far as technical wrestling in the ring.
Yeah,
you know,
Inferno was great.
You know, like people just don't get it. That's why people like Daniel Bryan are considered throwbacks. You know, Daniel Bryan and his technical style is a throwback to Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and those guys who use real technical skill in the ring to tell you a story. John Moxley is a throwback to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't lie about that. Like, he is. He's just a crazy dude. Even though, let me say this for AEW, since we're going to be talking AEW in the second half, let me say this for the AEW fans out there before y'all get up in the comment section getting all pissed. Look, bottom line is, the character John Moxley and Dean Ambrose are the same character with different costumes on. I'm sorry. I've watched a lot of Moxley. I love him, but the dude has one look, one feel, one cadence to his promo. Right. He has one setting. And I love it. I love it because in ring, he's able to do a lot more in AEW than he was in WWE. And in ring, he's killing it. But as far as the character itself, it's the same character. It's the lunatic fringe character.
That's what Triple H bought. Mox back in 06 was always like that. And then when John Moxley came to FCW and retained his name, he took the fucking gimmick, and it was great. And the best part about that was seeing him cut his teeth with William Regal.
Yeah.
In that days. And now he comes back as John Moxley again. I'll throw back to that again. It's fucking great. And yeah, Dean Ambrose was just renamed John Moxley. But yeah, the current version of John Moxley is still Dean Ambrose or John Moxley. They're definitely just completely interchangeable because one had jeans, the other has camouflage pants.
What the hell? Okay, we're getting close to commercial break here. And so let's go ahead and take that. Zoom just gave me a troubling notification. What want to say? So yeah, that's it right now. Cheap Pop Podcast, Poor Aces Presents Radio, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, etc. Peace.
See you on the flip side. Peace.
Okay.
What happened there?
All right. I don't know. I got a notification saying I need to upgrade to Zoom Pro in order to go over 40 minutes.
The hell?
So I'm going to see about, I guess, signing up for Pro and seeing what that does. See how much it's going to be. If it's more than like $5 or $6 a month, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the ass, dude. What the hell?
Not that we only got 10 more minutes left on this call.
Jesus. The hell? It's not right.
Okay, what the heck? You're listening to the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on the Four Aces Presents Radio Network. Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you may find your favorite podcasts. Imagine this. It's Friday night. You're at home wishing you can listen to an amazing playlist of some of your favorite music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Pop, rock, whatever. Then take out your favorite podcast listening device and tune in to KD5P, otherwise known as K-Double's Fifth Period Music Class. Every Friday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, K-Double brings you some of your favorite tunes live on the Four Aces Presents Radio Network on Live 365. Hey y'all, what's up? This is Double KK Double, as always, here to let you know about one of the newest shows on the Four Aces Presents Radio Network, a sports debate show by the name of The Classroom. That's right. Every Sunday at 3 p.m., Four Aces Presents brings you The Classroom, classic debate starring your boy Double K, taking on the likes of O'Malley, The Duel, Suave, and others. So tune in every Sunday at 3 to check us out and listen to what the hottest debate topics in sports that week are. Peace. We are back. Acknowledge me. No. It's you know, I haven't kept up with as much as this young man has the AEW thing right now, but I know that they're still putting on a good product. I admitted to John off air that, or the Alpha off air, that I'm kind of turned. It's a sad thing that it happens to me, and it happens to me quite a bit. It happened to me with LeBron James. I was a fan of LeBron James for a little bit until his fan base became completely toxic, and and so it's kind of a similar thing with AEW. I loved AEW to start. It was great. I watched every Wednesday night just about. I tried to make sure I watched, and then the fan base kind of became toxic. And I'm not saying WWE doesn't have its toxic fans, but like as a whole, or not as a whole, but everything that I'm seeing online, the AEW fan base has just become extreme. I had to leave an AEW group because of just how toxic the fan base was in there, the hardcore fans. So, but in general, AEW has put on a great product. When you have names like Danielson, Moxley, Regal, and such, doing their thing, along with guys like Cole and Hangman Adam Page and CM Punk and MJF and all the rest of them. When you have them all performing at their best, you have a damn good show. So Alpha, go ahead and fill us in on kind of like what's been going on with AEW since the last time we talked to, which was a long time ago. Or no, their last pay-per-view.
Their last pay-per-view. Yeah, we don't get to talking too much AEW, and I don't know 100% everything, but I keep up with some things that I do really, really love. And of course, I'm very vocal about my love for one Samoan Joseph.
Joe's gonna kill you.
The one that wears boxer shorts, not the mafioso one. but he's having the run of his career again, returning to AEW, bridging from debuting at the last Ring of Honor show. He's doing great with the TV title. He took it from Minoru Suzuki, who won it at said Ring of Honor show. And since then, he's been a defending champion pretty consistently, and most importantly, defending against Trent Beretta most recently. And it was pretty fucking good. I liked it. I liked what I saw. Of course, the first match that he comes back, he uses the Muscle Buster, which was fucking awesome. Always love to see that back right away. But since then, he's also put people away with the Coquina Clutch, like always. There's that little debacle that he had with Satnam Singh is the name, where he sold for the new 7-foot tall guy. But it happens. That stuff happens. He didn't lose the fucking title, so I'm not mad. But since then, Joe has just been doing real good work in AEW. And if you haven't, check out his theme, because that shit's banging.
All right. Joe's theme song has always been savage, from
Always.
NXT to the main roster to Impact. Like Joe's shit has been on point.
I'm biased because I'm a huge kaiju mark, and there's always the reference to Godzilla, and that remains true with this theme.
Yep. I know that they're doing a lot of crossover stuff right now. AEW is like, I know that they said Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti just won the AAA mixed tag team titles.
They did
at AAA Mania. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So like they're crossing over with a lot of different brands. You got a great feud going on with Scorpio Sky, just in general.
If you haven't seen that match, Sammy G and Scorpio Sky the last week, check that shit out.
All right, for sure. And then what else you got? And you got the Jericho Appreciation Society going head to head with Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. I don't know what they call it themselves, but hey.
Do you know the context behind this? I think I've only talked about it a few times. If I have, I've at least talked about it once. I'll be surprised if I haven't. But like most people, my first exposure to Eddie Kingston was when he came to Impact. And he showed up in Impact. And at first, he was managing Santana and Ortiz as the new gen of LAX. And eventually, he gets mad and he backs off. And Conan comes in and he manages them. And at that point, Kingston's mad. He doesn't like their version of LAX. So he brings back Homicide and Hernandez, LAX OG. And he manages them in a fight against LAX New Gen. It was a pretty cool little angle. I forget how it went, but that was my first exposure to Eddie Kingston, and since then I've become a huge fan of him. But this is what, if I'm not mistaken, this is what that's referencing.
Okay, I'm here for it. Look, AEW is going to give us some dream matches because it's a place where anybody can come. So you're going to get some guys that probably would never step foot in a WWE ring. They're going to be more than willing to step foot in an AEW ring, and you're going to get dream matches. One of those said dream matches could be the match that's coming up at, what is it, Double or Nothing? Their CM Punk finally, and well done storyline wise, keeping him away from the title for this long. Having him feud with other people. But CM Punk is finally getting his heavyweight championship shot against the one and only. And I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, I hate to say it like this. And it has nothing to do with Adam Page. It's because I haven't watched, but I haven't really seen or heard anything spectacular about his title reign so far. So I've heard that he put on a banger with Daniel Bryan.
Put on a banger with Adam Cole.
Did he? Okay, I didn't hear about that one.
If you get the chance, check out his match and matches with Cole, because they pulled a lot of innovative shit on both sides.
Right on.
He's had a good match with Lance Archer too, I believe.
Nice. And then also you got the whole FTR drama.
Yep.
First, WWE interested in bringing in FTR. Basically, FTR doesn't say fuck them, but like, nah, we ain't going nowhere right now. Ain't no reason to go nowhere.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it comes out WWE never really wanted FTR. I don't know what's real. I honestly don't.
I don't think anything's gonna change. I think it's just people talking shit from over the line, and I don't think anything's gonna fucking happen. They're gonna stay there. They were gonna stay there either way.
Like, I think we will see a few people that jump from AEW to WWE, but I don't think FTR will be one of them.
I don't see FTR being one of them.
I don't see them getting a big pop when they come back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't see a bunch of fans be like, FTR, yeah. Like,
I think people will be surprised.
Yeah.
But I think it's clear they've cut out a good spot for themselves working with a lot of promotions in the indies, and I think they should stick to it.
Exactly. Stay where your money's at. And so somebody made a comment on an AEW post about Vince McMahon in the territory days in the 80s. And how Vince McMahon took over from Vince McMahon Sr.
Yeah.
But the way he stated it was as if WWF existed first. Excuse me. And then Vince McMahon took it over. And I'm like, no, it was WWF that Vince Sr. ran.
Yeah.
Then Vince took over, he did run the WWF for a little bit. And then he decided to start mopping up people and create the WWF.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest is history.
Very true.
Vince I don't think people give Vince enough credit. I believe without Vince, there would be no Tony Khan. Because a lot of the people that are longing for AEW were once longing for Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock at WrestleMania. And I think that they're looking for something that's never going to be again. I've mentioned this 18 billion times on this show and another 15 billion times on the Raw Impact Unleashed. We will never have another Attitude Era. Only because of the fact of two things. A, wrestling's nowhere near as popular as it was during that time. B, you do not have, it's going to sound horrible to say, you do not have as many transitional stars in wrestling today as you did back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, Roman Reigns may go on to do movies. Outside of Roman Reigns, who do you really see that outside of maybe The Miz? Who else do you see on the WWE roster that would legit like go on to an actual acting career?
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know, so at the end of the day, like, that's what's different. You had Kevin Nash was in a movie, Hulk Hogan was in a movie, fucking Scott Hall was in a movie, I believe. Roddy Piper was in a movie. Fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin was in several movies. The Rock, of course, is the fucking Rock. Triple H has actually done a movie or two. You know what I'm saying? Like you had so many transitional stars during the Attitude Era. You don't have that anywhere right now. And I mean transitional stars is they could go back and forth between the wrestling world and the acting world and be successful in both. There's not many stars like John Cena was one of the last. I believe Roman Reigns might be able to, but I believe like Roman Reigns and John Cena are pretty much the last outside of the Miz.
That is true. Yeah, there's definitely a few people on that level, but to also that degree, I don't think I would ever like to see Randy Orton as an actor.
Yeah,
but he's definitely reached the top as it gets, and I like the idea of him saying that he's going to be here forever in that respect. Yep. And I like that. But you are right. In terms of even now, you want to bring it down to WWE. Yeah, there aren't stars like that. There just aren't stars to that level, and you can harken that back to who is the face that can dethrone Roman. There's no one to that level. That's just how it is.
Now, in go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No, I was going to transition back to AEW. Go ahead, though.
Oh no, I was going to too, but a different way of transitioning back to them. In one of our rare news of the week situations, Becky Lynch technically took a shot at AEW's women's division.
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm here to tell people that she's really not wrong. Like, I'm sorry, as much as AEW fans want to get upset, like she's not wrong. Like the WWE women do get a grander stage. Like, tell me one main event of a Double or Nothing or something like that was for the women's title.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen it. You know, so like I get what they're saying, that AEW has a burgeoning or growing women's division, but they aren't anywhere near what WWE's women's division is in presentation or skill level. I'm sorry, Britt Baker is great and all, and I'm glad that she still has her chip in there. Or no, I'm glad that she's still the same character and all that, and her character is over. But she's no Becky Lynch. She's no Charlotte Flair. She's no Sasha Banks. She for damn sure is no Bayley. Like, I'm sorry to say it, like, guys, like, as much as you may think, I literally read multiple comments where they're like, Hikaru Shida and Ryu and Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa can run circles around them. Thunder Rosa, maybe. Hikaru Shida, I'll give you a maybe. I won't give you the full word. I'll give you a maybe. Rio, I think that's one that's borderline no. And then Britt Baker's still far too green to even get in the ring with the likes of Asuka, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, etc.
Yeah. And a large focus is Serena Deeb for good reason.
Yeah. You know, so but is Britt Baker amazing on the mic? Is she does she give it her all when she's in the ring? Yes, 100%. I give her full credit for that. But just because she gives it her all, blood, sweat, and tears, doesn't make her the better wrestler. I'm sorry. Just doesn't. So, but your thoughts on Becky Lynch's comments?
Yeah, I can't say that they're not true. AEW doesn't put enough focus on its women's division. Not just about giving them time. It's about the way they focus on storylines and the way they go about it. And yeah, I like the focus on building up new women that AEW does. I like that a lot. But in that same light, you can see the disparity in skill between people like Serena Deeb and a lot of the other women on the roster. But that's what happens when you bring in a veteran and a lot of people that have only been working for about 10 years or so. Who knows? I can't really test because I don't really pay attention too much to the women's division beyond those few names and the ones that I really, really like in AEW. But it's more blatant to see that WWE puts a lot of focus on the women's division, especially in the last 3 years. And there's no refuting that, no doubt.
Yep. Amen.
But because you know what AEW is putting emphasis on? They're too busy putting emphasis on their main fucking character, Hook. That's what the fuck they're too busy focusing on. A lot of people look at AEW and they call it Kenny Omega's house, or they call it Punk's house, and all that shit like that. No, if AEW was an anime, it would be fucking Hook as the main character. He is the shonen protagonist that wrestling has been fucking looking for. His in-ring ability, it's fucking everything. He looks like a fucking Goku, like a Goku fucking form given life. And only just recently has he broken his silence, but months of send Hook. And the fact, it's even funnier that Taz has been given like the moniker of fake tough guy as it's come out to the IWC over the years. And Hook, despite being half the size, looks like he eats people fucking alive. It's a great build to a great character.
Nice.
And his first real feud is with a fucking comedy character in the form of Danhausen. If you aren't aware of whatever the fuck Danhausen is, then you're not too far off from my knowledge with this, because to my knowledge, he's a vampire gimmick comedy wrestler who can actually wrestle pretty fucking well. Kind of like the whole Orange Cassidy thing we got going on.
Okay.
But he's huge on the internet, and that's the whole thing. They've been building them up to fight each other for a while now, and it's been fucking wonderful. And now finally Hook talks for the first time in months.
Nice.
And they finally meet up in the ring, and it was pure fucking magic. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Go for it. Hookhausen's the thing.
Hookhausen. Like I said, Tony Khan has a great thing going over there, man. Like he's basically brought in all the guys that probably would have had to change gimmick in WWE and just let them be themselves. You know, so like I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm loving when I do watch, I'm actually loving what I'm seeing. Like I said, still doesn't meet the production quality or look of WWE.
Oh, of course.
You know, but WWE, I wouldn't say it's gotten bad. I would just say that it's once you've watched AEW for about 10 years, the shit will become predictable. Once you watched Impact for more than 10 years, the shine had worn off. You know, same thing with WWE. Like normally it takes a fan about 5 to 10 years before they start getting tired of the WWE style of wrestling. You know, but you can't deny that the characters are there. Butch, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, the Blackpool, you know, Fight Club. No, they're not the Blackpool Fight Club. They're just the Fight Club.
I'm sorry.
You know, you got guys like that, and then in AEW you have things like the Blackpool Fight Club, or Liverpool Fight Club. Sorry.
No, Blackpool. You got it.
Is it Blackpool? All right.
And
you know, and then you got, you know, Eddie and Santana and Ortiz. You know, you got the Jericho Appreciation Society. You got some good stuff going on over there. 100%.
Absolutely.
So, all right, my friend, it is about that time again. Guys, we're going to have to wrap it up. Next week, join us as we talk a little what?
Talk a little Moon Knight at that point.
Moon Knight series finale?
Probably, yeah, we'll talk Moon Knight.
And whatever else we can think of. So join us next week.
We will.
And we'll see you then. Other than that, Alpha, as usual, my friend, take us home.
You know how it goes, my people. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Cheap Pop Podcast. And always remember, it's not about AEW winning. It's not about WWE winning. It's about NXT 2.0 losing. Be safe and have a good night. Peace out.